to so much rage. It is the anniversary of her husband's death, but she's not mourning the bullet that stole his breath. She grieves each moment. His hands formed a ring around her neck like proposal. Each moment his I do marked dominion like a dog taking a piss on its territory. He marked his property with bruised cheeks and split lips, when wife became synonymous to ownership. But he wasn't always this monster, she says. She couldn't pinpoint when her childhood sweetheart exchanged sweet embraces for throwing her body against pavement, traded blown kisses for blows and kicks in her lower abdomen. His soft fingers caressing her cheek became a balled up fist pressed against her face, as if he shoved her 6 feet under. No one knew he beat the love out of her. She couldn't confess that her marriage became an open grave. She says the day he walked down the streets of Irvington and was murdered was the day God saved her life. Sometimes I fear whether or not God will save mine. If entrusting this heart into the hands of a man will be my biggest mistake. But then I catch a glimpse of my father's gaze, eyes piercing through the soul of my mother. 29 odd years later, a mighty strong tower amongst the rubble. Wow. Okay. Funny how I was pro-life before this. Missing peerage became less run-on sentence, more death sentence lingering in the palm of my hands. The fear of cradling my own reflection when I still haven't learned to look myself in the mirror. How to create life when still losing my own. All the ways to kill the unborn racing through mine like scattered thoughts of an old boyfriend mentioning children in a non-existent future. An emptiness I wish could forever fill my womb, but I grin at him like I'm supposed to. Disguising my ambivalence from maternal instinct, motherhood never settled well with me. Sometimes I fear never will. Hips inherited from my mother, never supporting the same weight of sacrifice, backbending and bloodshed. Daring to dishonor with defiled hands a slaughtered fetus. A measly sum placed upon the head of the priceless. Perhaps losing the most precious part of myself. Yet half of me sees strength, more than I ever knew I could possess. A fragile soul that will still love me back, depending on me. Birthing my rebirth, a new reason for living this swollen heart. Dropping in the pit of my belly. Beating frantically faster than the rhythm of a pulse I would never allow to be, an unborn legacy of uncertainty. Like when my niece called me mommy. And I didn't know whether to share her warm embrace or wash out her mouth like profanity, face pressed against sink, awaiting results, finding back more tears than a newborn, air fitting like strangling umbilical cords, enough to make morning sickness out of my too many mornings of bad decision, long overdue for a premature ending in his incubator arms, now unprepared to be a father. Never daring to utter a word to him, me alone, anxiety-stricken, plagued by the guilt of my final decision. The bathroom tiles close in as I lift my fate. A resounding no appears, reluctance, breaking the silence. Wondering if I truly would have went through with it. If I'd have disposed limbs torment me. Nails scratching my womb, refusing to leave vacant. Unable to scrape away a faded memory of the one I choose to never have the pleasure to meet. Unprepared to be the mother my child would hate in the living.